Ladies and gentlemen, please do not take flash photography during Ms. Chenoweth's performance.
Hi, everybody. Shall we? This is a question that I know many of you ladies ask yourself every day when you get ready to go to your job, whatever that is. Should I be the peppy type, or should I be the sweet thing? Should I deal in sex appeal or charm? If I stick to charm, will I have lure enough? If I'm full of pep, will I seem pure enough? Sure enough. Should I be sweet and sing of spring and roses? Should I be hot for a spot where the fields of cotton grow? If I am sweet, you may turn up your noses. And if I'm hot, you may think I know more than a maid should know. I give you art, and let's suppose you like it. I win your heart, then spoil it all with what-it-do-do-do-do. So I repeat, should I sing sweetly? Or just get hot for a spot in the south and yell of it. I do both, and that's just for the hell of it. Should I be hot or sweet? Hot, sweet, sweet, hot. Prada, Louboutin, Kmart, Walmart. It's up to you. I have to tell you something. I got the call that I was going to get to come do this event. And I was so excited because one of the themes in my life of late has been passion and inspiration. I receive both from women in my life, and I want to celebrate you guys here. Congratulations. I have so much to say, and they have a clock down here so that I don't ramble. I know some of you have to pee. I know you're full. You've already heard Ariana, who I admire. The women in my life who I have looked up to, and that's practically everyone because I'm only 4'11", have been obviously wonderful performers like Dolly Parton, Madeline Kahn, Barbara Streisand. Recently, I was able to share a meal with Gloria Steinem. I mean, when do you get to say that? My Aunt Ginger, my mom. But to tell you about who I am, I need to tell you a little bit about where I'm from. I am from a tiny town in Oklahoma. I was born to Jerry and Junie Chenoweth, or I should say I was given to them. I was adopted. You know, right away, my therapist said to me that that meant that I started out life as a rejection. But I choose to look at it a different way. Somebody loved me enough, my birth mother loved me enough to give me a better life. She did. And I then inherited 6 aunts who I like to call the Oklahoma Steel Magnolias. They're absolutely cray-cray. They're out of their mind, but in a good way, in a good way. I'm so glad my mom finally got put on hormones. That needed to happen. By the way, I love Vera Bradley, but that's not on my speech. I want to say this. Growing up, my dream was to be a ballerina. I wanted to be a ballerina more than anything in the world, and it became the issue of a big fork in the road for me. And I've had many in my life. We had George Balanchine, a protege of George Balanchine, come to Tulsa, Oklahoma, to my ballet school to take a look at me, because evidently I was pretty good. And he took one look at me dance, and he said, "You will never be a ballerina. You don't have the right feet. You're never going to grow tall enough. And you're not a very good, you don't have height. You don't have jump, you can't jump." I was crushed, and my mom said, I said, "Mom, why me? Why me?" And she said, "Why not you? What else are you going to do in this life? All this does is help you find whatever your next purpose is." And I know that's the theme for today, finding your purpose, making a difference. I didn't understand it at 13, but let me continue. As I grew up, I wanted to go to Oklahoma University. My parents said, "If you want to be a singer, you need to go to a good music school," and that became Oklahoma City University. I didn't think there would be one straight man there, and I wasn't going to have any fun. Turns out there was a few, and I had a great time. I met my mentor, Ms. Florence Birdwell, who opened up my voice to many different styles. I thought I was just going to be a gospel singer, but it turned out I could do country and opera and musical theater. I didn't realize then how blessed I was that my parents gave up so that I could have an education. I know many of you are educated. Whether you've been to school or not, you've learned stuff, right? That's called life. I ended up getting a scholarship to finish my graduate degree in opera performance. So you can see how it started out. I wanted to be a ballerina, then I wanted to be a gospel singer, and I ended up getting my master's in opera performance, and I was accepted to one of the top schools in Philadelphia to continue my studies. But right before I was to start that program, I helped my best friend Denny move to New York, and I thought, I'm just going to go on an audition and see what it's like. And this is where the little voice, we all have them. You guys know what I'm talking about, that inner voice that talks to you? I believe it's God. Some people believe it's whatever. I don't care what it is for you. I was listening to that voice, and I went on an audition, and I ended up getting an opportunity to play a role in a show in New York, and I had to make a decision, another fork in the road. I had a full scholarship to a school that takes 7 people, or I could go to an off-Broadway play and make very little money and have that experience. And that little voice inside of me said, do the show in New York. I did the show in New York, got an agent. Time goes by, I end up getting an audition to do a Broadway show, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, but I had an offer to do another one, Annie Get Your Gun, with Bernadette Peters, one of my idols. That little voice came inside of me and said, do Charlie Brown. 7 people in it. I know you have job security with Bernadette, but go do this other thing. I listened against my agent and everybody in my life and ended up getting a Tony Award out of the deal. And here's what happened. Thus began a pinwheel of me like a mouse on a treadmill, just going and going and going. And it's been like that for 15 years. I'm a little older than I look. It's been like that a while. Now, that's all good, right? You look at my life and you say, wow, man, she's given us her resume. She's had a good life. That life has come with sacrifice, extreme hard work, picking, maybe not having children yet, not getting married, runaway bride twice, but have learned and got through those issues. That's for my therapy session. Maybe some of you understand, I don't know. But one thing that happened to me, you guys, is that I started to forget that little inner voice until very recently. And this is the point of the story. In July, I just finished a tour, a great, very artistically pleasing tour, and helped me grow as a woman and inspired me. And I go on the set of The Good Wife, which is a great show on CBS. We love that show. So smart. And I was to do maybe 5 episodes, and I'm just standing there waiting for my scene to start. It was very windy outside. We were by the river in Brooklyn, which I try to never be. And a set piece fell on my head. And it fell on my head from 30 feet in the air and then slammed me into a curb. So what happened is I woke up in an ambulance. I had a broken nose. I had 2, what I think are cracked ribs. I had a 5-inch skull fracture with a concussion and cracked teeth and a hairline fractured jaw. That happened to me in July 11th, and I remember it because 7-Eleven gives free Slurpees that day, and I was going to go get one. Well, as many of you women know, when you go from 200 miles an hour to 0, what happens? Oh, you're stuck with your inner thoughts. Sometimes that's not so fun, but I was forced to listen. I was forced to get back to hearing what I needed to hear and listen and be quiet. Have you ever noticed that when you stop, how you can hear what you're supposed to hear? That happened to me, and what I realized is that I do have a lot more that I want to do. I remember in Miss Oklahoma they said, "Is your glass half empty or half full?" And I'm like, well, is it Diet Coke? Is it what is it? I now understand the question. The question is, the answer really is, I have a lot more I want to do. So in this quiet time, I realized, how do you want to leave your mark? Yes, you're an artist. You want to be at the top of your game. You guys are professionals, most of you. You know where you want to be. You know what the 5-year plan, the 10-year plan. You know where you want to be when you retire, if you want to retire. You know what kind of parent, sister, daughter, wife that you want to be. I hadn't really been thinking that way. I've just been a hamster on a wheel going, going, going. And I realized that there's more to life than just working, working, working. How do I want to be seen? What mark do I want to leave? I want to do so much, and I've begun. In some ways, I feel like I'm just starting, and I'm 44 years old, and I'm just starting. As I was coming in here today, I met 4 young ladies, about, I think, 17. They came up to me and they said, "You inspire us." And they got so excited, and one of them almost cried. And I said, no, no, no. You inspire me. You make me want to be better. The other day, Carole King was getting her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and I got to be there to help present that to her. And I'm thinking, Tapestry changed so many of our lives. Who remembers that album? Everybody, right? That speaks to me. That is the kind of legacy that I want to leave through music, through roles, through giving back to my community, my neighbors, being the kind of woman, being the kind of friend. I am a girl's girl, and I want to be that. I don't know why sometimes women hurt each other, but I have a feeling that I'm in a room with women who don't do that. I think now is a very good time to introduce my partner in crime. This is Miss Mary Mitchell Campbell at the piano. She's my music director. Now, Mary Mitchell and I, first of all, I want you to tell everyone how we met and what you thought of me.
Easy. Okay. Kristin and I met actually many years ago through Paul Newman, doing a benefit with him. That's our first meeting.
It was our first meeting, and we started making music together. Mary Mitchell is a conductor on many Broadway shows, and I'm very lucky to have her with me here. But, you know, we realized that not only do we love to make music together, but we love to figure out how we're going to leave our mark and what we're going to do in this world. And she started an organization, and I want her to tell you about it. Because it's perfect. It's everything that we're about in this room.
I started an organization several years ago. It's called A-Step. like I'm taking a step somewhere. And it's an acronym for Artists Striving to End Poverty. And it's an organization that teaches health education and life skills through the arts to children who are in really severe situations in the United States, in Africa, in India, and Ecuador currently. I was very inspired by Connie Smith earlier. It's a similar kind of work that she's doing. But it's amazing because the arts opens up a door to teach through that is unparalleled by other practices, and we've been really successful. And Kristin and I were talking right before we came out about the importance of girls' education and how crucial it has been proven now over and over again in these severe areas of poverty that educating women is the most important way to lift a community out of poverty. Educating girls is the most proven way.
It makes me so glad that my dad picked me up at Opryland for my summer job and said, "No, you are going back to school." I didn't want to.
Your dad is smart.
What's the website people can check out?
Yeah, if you want to check us out, we're at asteponline.org. And Kristin's on our board, and she also started her own organization, which she should tell you about.
I started it a few years back. I'm a big animal lover, and I have a Maltese named Madeline Chenoweth. She is my child, and she has reminded me what unconditional love is, and I realized just how lucky I am that I get to have an animal that does that for me, and really that they are blessings in our life. And what Maddie's Corner does is we help animals get adopted, we help animals get placed into the right home that they need, and we also help them with medical, for example, the hurricane on the East Coast, we are placing animals who've been lost. And that is just one way that I am trying to leave my mark. I know that many of you here have left your mark. I know that many of you here are wondering if that inner voice in you is correct. Should you do it? Should I go for it? If you have something in your heart that's telling you to do it, do it. Because you know what? We only live once, that we remember. Thank you so much for having me today. Now this song is exactly what I'm about, what you're about. I think inspiring, passion, and leaving our mark on this world. You will notice me. I'll be leaving my mark like initials carved in an old oak tree. Just wait and see. Maybe I'll write like Twain wrote. Maybe I'll paint like Van Gogh. Cure the common cold, I don't know. But I'm ready to start, 'cause I know in my heart I wanna do something that matters. Say something different, something that sets the whole world on its ear. I wanna do something better with the time I was given. I know that I will do more than just pass through this life and leave nothing less than something that says I was here. I will prove you wrong. If you think I'm all talk, you're in for a shock, 'cause this dream's too strong, and before too long, maybe I'll compose symphonies, maybe I'll fight for world peace, 'cause I know it's my destiny to leave more than a trace of myself in this place. I wanna do something that matters, say something different, something that sets the whole world on its ear. I wanna do something better with the time I was given. I know that I will do more than just pass through this life and leave nothing less than something that says I
the whole world on
I wanna do something that matters, say something